Ryan from the Chequamegon Veterans Center. We're coming here today. Don't worry, we're only going to bore you for 2 minutes instead of 20 minutes. It's a little bit of a book brief by something that Walter had just read and you wanted to share with us today. What did you just read?
Yes, I was just going to talk a little bit about Max Hastings, Vietnam, an Epic Tragedy. So this is an excellent general reference. It was recommended to me as kind of the best single volume treatment of the war, and I'd say I have to agree with that sentiment. Not that I have a huge frame reference on single volume histories of the war, but for what it is, something to pick up with me, who has done some heavy research into a couple of very specific episodes of the Vietnam War, but otherwise hasn't done more than a cursory online reading of the overarching conflict. I would say this is probably about as good as it gets. It covers everything from the initial French attempts to restore control over their colony in Indochina after the end of the Second World War, all the way up through the establishment of the divided but independent Vietnamese states in the north and the south, and then following through the American intervention, and then all the way up to the fall of Saigon in 1975, and a little bit on the aftermath thereof. So again, this is it's kind of a broad spectrum. It paints with a broad brush. It gets detailed enough that it can help to explain what's going on, but at the same time it doesn't go so far into the weeds that you will get yourself lost. And again, very impressed with it, happy with it. It has first-hand accounts that range all the way up from the likes of Richard Nixon and President Thieu of Vietnam, all the way, South Vietnam I should say, and all the way down through individual foot soldiers of the various nations involved, and notably not just the United States or South Vietnamese, but even interviewing veterans of the North Vietnamese Army and the Viet Cong. So it's able to paint a very neutral picture of what is by its nature a politically based war, which to this day generates controversy. So again, this is in my opinion a really good kind of a primer for the Vietnam conflict, and I think it really does have a place on just about anyone's shelf that is interested in the Vietnam War as well as the Cold War in general.